Hello everyone, this is Mumbo here, welcome back, and today we are back on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 82, and of course we are over here at the Mumbo Jumbo Jungle base, ready to record another video. And I, for one, am very excited for this one. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the previous episode we worked on the slime farm, and I'm going to quickly head over there just to check if we've got any more slime balls. Haven't really played on the Hermitcraft server since I was last online recording the episode, so I highly doubt there will be any. We had 48 last time, now we have got 48. Okay, it has stayed exactly the same, but there are slimes spawning in there. As you can see, we already have 48, which isn't bad for one layer. But like I say, we aren't actually going to be working on this farm in today's episode. We are instead going to be working on a different farm. I know, I am constantly building some form of farm, but this one I feel is going to be fairly cool, and that is a cactus farm. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but just never really got round to it. But I've come up with, or I've seen, a really cool design that I think is going to work very well. But before we begin, I just want to say, this gold farm here is rubbish. It is rubbish. Now, in the grand scheme of things, compared to all other gold farms, it is pretty good. You know, it produces a decent amount of gold. Look, we've got a whole bunch of golden nuggets here, and it's all going well. I've got a few blocks of gold from it, and that's pretty nice. But compared to the ones on the server, this thing is rubbish. And that is because Xisuma has come along and built the world's best gold farm. So I thought we would head over there and take a look. I need to ask him where it is, because I don't really know. But I watched his video. It is insane. It is just through the roof mental. So we're going to have to head over there and take a look. I want to see this for myself. So here we are then. This is the iron foundry of gold farms. You know, the iron farm that we have on here? Well, we now have that for gold. Albeit someone has to be here AFKing over there. But that doesn't matter, because if you look in this chest, we have got a whole bunch of gold blocks already. That's pretty good. I really want to see this from like a side-on perspective. Perhaps we'll hop down there at some point. But anyway, I can see some chests down at the bottom. I don't really know what they are, and I haven't had a proper good look around here. But, I mean, there are tons and tons of nether portals in this build. That is the main thing that you will notice, is that the nether portals are just everywhere. I assume this is where all of the chests are. And, wow, yeah, they really are backing up. Oh. Oh, no. A massive thank you to Xisuma Void for gathering up all of my items there. That was a silly ender pearl. I didn't mean to do it, obviously, but I was clearly holding shift and I decided to right click, and that meant that I fell off the edge. But anyway, let's head down off to the side. You saw how many item drops there are, and you can see that there are clearly a lot of pigmen falling about this place. But anyway, I want to take a look at this from a side-on perspective. I want to see how many just nether portal. Oh my god, look at this thing. It is ridiculous. Wow. I am taken aback. This is just an incredible build. It's huge. I'm lost for words. That is a lot of work. Just to think how much obsidian has gone into this thing, and just the amount of time that has gone into this thing. Well, I think I'm going to be building in gold blocks from now on. Iron just isn't quite blingy enough for me anymore, so this is awesome. And like I say, I will put a link to Xisuma's video in the description. If I've forgotten to do that, then please shout at me, because I often forget to do these things, and this definitely deserves to be down there. So there it is. That is the giant gold farm on the Hermitcraft server, and it looks pretty sweet, doesn't it? So this design is by a guy called Seth Bling, and he built it on a server called Minecraft. I don't know if you have heard of either of those, but I'm going to say that you probably have. So what we have here is we have got 3 blocks of sand, and then you place some vines, you place another block of sand, then you take out these 2 blocks, and you can see that our sand is actually floating. It's being suspended by vines. So then we just plonk down a cactus. When the cactus grows, it will be broken by this sand block here, fly off the edge, and probably land in some hoppers down at the bottom. And then all you have to do is just rinse and repeat. You just do the same thing over and over again. So you just plonk down your cactus there. It's the old 3 sand blocks, vine, sand. take out those blocks, and then you plonk down your cactus. It really is a very easy design to build, and what I'm going to do is I'm now going to copy and paste this into a square so we can get a rough plan of how we're going to lay this out, because I want it to be fairly efficient. I changed the tick speed to very, very high, and it's broken a lot of things. Oh god. Right, well, after that little mishap, I would say this is all working fine. The design itself is pretty good. After I changed the tick speed to 10,000, we got ourselves about 15,000 entities, most of which are on the floor, which means that surely the farm is going to work fairly well on the server. So what I'm going to do now is hop back onto Hermitcraft, and we are going to get building. I do apologise for the rain, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. Sadly, with having so many AFK farms on Hermitcraft, we get a lot of hermits going AFK, is what to be expected. But anyway, what we have done is a little bit of clearing over here in the jungle area. I decided not to build it inside the base. I was sort of humming and hawing, thinking, where can I slot this in? And I concluded that I could slot it in a few locations, but it would look really, really silly. So I've decided to put it slightly outside in the middle of the jungle here, so it's sort of hidden away. And I think, actually, that will be a lot better. It will look a lot nicer. And yeah, I am actually fairly excited to see how this all turns out. The build itself shouldn't be particularly difficult. Getting the resources might be a tiny bit harder because we need tons of vines and tons of sand. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start building. I'll do the occasional progress update, and hopefully we should end up with a fairly decent cactus farm by the end of today's episode. So the first cactus pillar thing is now done. It is 10 cacti high, and well, it's quite high. This is going to be quite a big structure, which is why I'm fairly glad that we didn't build it anywhere in the base, because it would sort of dwarf all of the other things that we've been up to. But anyway, if we take a look at this from a distance, if I could stop just smacking about in this bush here, sort it out. I have recovered from the bush accident, and this is what our cactus farm looks like at the minute. Not particularly pretty, I have to admit. It's not looking so good, but that was never the big deal, was it? That was never the reason that we were building this. The reason we're building it is because it doesn't use that many resources, and also it should produce quite a bit of cactus. So now what I think I'm going to do is I will probably end up doing some form of time-lapse. I think this episode is going to be a little bit shorter than the others, and that is because I just want to get my head down and I just want to build the whole cacti farm. I don't want to bother with too many progress updates and all that sort of thing, because I feel they can get a little bit boring if it's just me going, I've built this, I've done this again, I've done this. So I think I'm just going to time-lapse it. The episode might be a little bit shorter, but it's a fair trade-off. Long and boring or short and exciting? I'd rather have short and exciting. So let's go. So I was thinking, instead of doing one big long time-lapse with multiple songs and all that, I would sort of mix it up and do a time-lapse, then a little jump cut, and then another little bit of time-lapse, then another jump cut. Who knows what I might do next? A jump cut time-lapse? I don't know. I have no idea. But what I can say is that progress is good. We have done a whole bunch of stuff. If we just ender pearl on top of our wheat thing here, you can see that this is actually beginning to take shape. You can see my little camera account up there for anyone that's wondering. Us hermits are allowed one extra account that is on the server. They are not allowed to do anything. They are not allowed to do anything in terms of Hermitcraft. They are just there to record, and that is why he is in creative mode, just before anyone flips out. But yes, this is the cactus farm, and it is looking pretty good. We are about a third of the way there even, and it's coming along nicely. I have seen a whole bunch of cactus being spawned and then broken immediately, and there should actually be a few of them on the floor. If we take a look around, there's a load of sand, but also there should be a few cacti. Okay, there's a few over there. So yes, it is working already, which is quite nice to see, and it is going well. It's going well, and that is all you need to know. But now I think what we are going to do is we will do another time-lapse, but it will be one of those time-lapse chat things. I haven't done a time-lapse chat in absolutely ages. It's essentially where I do a time-lapse and then do a voiceover over the top of it instead of doing my usual music, which will be a nice little variation, and hopefully we will end up with this thing being completely complete. Excellent. Now in today's time-lapse chat, we are going to be talking about money. Money of all things. I know everyone is aware of it, a lot of people are worried about it, money these days is a little bit short, but I do get a lot of questions about, hey, I am 13, 14, 15, 16, sometimes 17 or 18, and I want to know how to make money. And I'm assuming the reason people ask me this is because you guys know that I have been saving for this car for a very long time, and that means that I'm probably quite disciplined with how I spend my money, and also that I have actually been earning money. And the first thing that you need to know about anything with jobs, life, things that you want, the first thing that you need to know is that if you don't do anything about it, then you are not going to get it. Now what I mean by that is if you sit on your ass all day moaning about the fact that you don't have money and you don't have a job, you are not getting any nearer to having money and having a job. So what you have to do is you have to leave the house and try and find them. The jobs aren't going to be coming to you, you have to go out and get them. And the job, it really doesn't matter whether you're going to your neighbour's house and saying, hey, your lawn looks a little bit rubbish, why don't I mow it for you for a small price? Or your carpets are looking a little bit crappy, why don't I come along, hoover it and you can pay me a fiver? Or you could go out and get a paper round, go to a pub and say, can I wash your cups? Go to a shop and say, hey, I'll stack your shelves, anything. Apply for all the jobs that you can, and then if you get a ton of offers, which would be very nice, then you can pick and choose which one you want. Now the next thing that I want to say is that no job is beneath you. A lot of people these days seem to say, oh, I'm too good for that sort of job, I don't want to be doing that sort of thing, and it's such a silly thing to say. When I was around about 13 to 15, I actually had myself a paper round, and a lot of people took the mick out of me for it. They were like, oh, why do you want to do a paper round? You're out there in the rain, you're delivering newspapers, it's a rubbish job. But actually, I had 2 paper rounds and I was earning around about 40 to 50 pounds a week. And that definitely allowed me to do what I wanted to do. So while these people that were taking the mick, most of them didn't have jobs themselves, I was actually sat there fairly comfortable with my money, being able to do all of the stuff that I actually wanted to do, which is the most important thing. So the 2 important things to take from this whole situation is if you see a job opening, put your name down. You cannot go wrong. Just put your name down, get your name down there, and you are ready to go. And the next thing is, of course, no job is beneath you. Just apply to all of them. If the job is earning you money, then it is a successful job. So that is it. That is all I've got to say on that one. Now back to the Minecraft stuff. One thing that I will say is that if you are looking for a calm, stress-free Minecraft recording playing session, then do not build a cactus farm. Oh, that was oddly stressful, I will tell you. That was just pretty hard. I'm going to run you through all of the things that I found challenging about that one. The first one is, you know, I was talking in the beginning about how simple the building strategy is. Oh, look, it's so easy. You just place a couple sand, vine, sand, cactus, okay? That is fine if you only have to do it about 5 times. If you have to do it about 300 times, it gets very, 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 very boring very quickly. And, oh, I've had to do that for the past 2.5, 3 hours. I don't know why it took so long. I think it's because I was just putting myself off it. Also, another thing is, the resources for this one, although they're not particularly hard to come by, they're annoying to get. For example, to get a lot of sand, you have to go to a desert. That's annoying. To get a lot of vines, you have to use a weird technique where you just sort of slide down a wall, picking up the vines as you go. That was the fastest way I could think of doing it. And to get cacti, you sort of need a cacti farm already, which is annoying. It's all really annoying. And it's just been an annoying one, essentially. Also, stay away from Enderman and Creepers, because Enderman and Creepers are going to ruin your day big time. A Creeper completely blew up the bottom part of this farm. That was annoying. And Enderman decided to take a block from the middle, and that meant that I had to redo the whole pillar. annoying. Other than that, those few little things, it's been really fun, and I hope that you have found it fun as well. I am sorry that this video has been a little bit shorter than the usual ones. Like I say, it's because I wanted to get my head down, I wanted to get the whole build done, and I felt like this was the best way of doing it. But yeah, it's been alright, okay? It hasn't been as bad as I'm making it sound, but I don't think I'm ever going to build a cactus farm again. That is for sure. But anyway, I hope that you have enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. But before we get on with the whole building process, getting on with the...